What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new movie titled Full of Monty. If you haven't seen The Full Monty, is actually pretty funny, and that's what I'm referencing. I'm pretty sure most people, when I do these references, you do not get them. So, anyways, today we're going to be talking about private and public routing. Now, what do I mean by that? Basically, private, obviously, if you're not logged in, we don't want you to be going to the dashboard, to the ad, or the edit pages without having logged in. Now, for public routing, obviously the login would be one of them. There's multiple reasons. There's other ones, but right now we don't have enough routes. I'm readjusting myself, so sorry for the movement. Anyways, for public, once we're logged in, we don't need the login page no more. So once we're logged in, this login page will become a public route. This is a public route right here. Anybody could join it, even if you're logged in. We don't want that. We don't want people to actually see this page if they're logged in. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today: public and private. First of all, we're going to be doing private because public is just a copy paste of private. So to do private, we do need to rename some of these components. We're going to create a component. Let's just start off with that. Let's create a component inside of the route right here. New file. And we're going to say private route.js. And the reason why I'm doing a file or a component named private route is because right here, we're going to be using that component right here. Let me actually put it right now. So private route, just like that. Copy this one and this one and this one. These three are going to be private routes, and we're going to be using them inside of this component private route, or we're going to be doing all of our logic inside of this. We do need to import it right here. So import private route from private route. There you go. All right, now that we know what we're doing, or how this page is set up, you're gonna kind of get what we're going to be doing over here. So first of all, we do need to import some stuff like React from React. We also need to do import connect from React Redux, and we also do need to do import route from React router DOM. Now we're going to do export const our actual component. Nope. Private route. Want to equal state list. All right, now we do need to connect to our store, so I'm gonna make a const, and you already know, map state to props. I'm not doing dispatch because we're not gonna be dispatching anything. We just need to get information from the store, so that's why I'm doing this. It's going to equal state right here is we're gonna be getting is authenticated. We're gonna make it a new variable, which is authenticated. Okay, is authenticated, and the way we're going to do that is in the state we have something called auth, right? Remember this .id. And if you do not remember, this auth.id is in actions in the auth, where we actually return our UID right here. And in the store, there's two things. That's why. In our store, where's our store? Right here. We have a object called auth. Inside that object, we have something called the UUID, right? UID. So in here, it's not ID, it's UID. So that's how you get auth UID. But the problem with this right here is that we want a Boolean for this is authenticated. So this state.auth.uid will either return unidentified or unidentified or an actual number or string, right? Which we don't want. We just want true or false. So in that case, I'm just going to be adding 2 exclamation marks right here that will turn this into a Boolean. And we already went over how this happens or what's going on with this. So now time to connect. Export default connect. Honestly, you should have this already muscle memory because we've done this so many times. Map state to props, and we're going to be connecting our private route. All right, now in here, I am going to be destructuring the object that is coming back. Now, if you don't understand what is coming back, this is one of the props. Props is coming back. Props is an object that contains is authenticated, and over here, the path equal to this, component equal to that. Control Z. You know, this is all in props. You will see this right here, props, and you would access whatever you want, like is authenticated or the path or the component. You would access those by props dot is authenticated, path, component. That's how you would access them. I'm just recapping here. You already know this, but I'm going to be destructuring it because we do need some stuff to actually make this happen. Like is authenticated. We actually need that to actually, we actually need it. Let's just put it that way. It's just, let me just show you. Screw it. I'm gonna just show you because it's actually easier. So there's actually destructure some stuff, and one of the things I am is authenticated. That's one of the things I'm going to be destructuring. Another one is the actual component. And you'll see why I'm doing it this way. Component. And I'm going to be renaming this, since it is a component, to just capitalize component. Okay? And I don't really care about any of the other props that is coming in, but we still need them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a spread operator and just say rest. And this would grab every other property that we have not destructured. Oh, okay. So since we already destructured it's authenticated and component, this proper here or this object is not going to contain any of these things. And this rest, you can literally name this whatever you want. You can name it to prop, cat, whatever. I'm just saying rest so that way you know it's the rest of the stuff that's not being destructured on top. Now over here, this is where we're gonna actually redirect or direct people, you know, to that one page that we want to. So if they're actually logged in, then we want to redirect them to the dashboard, let's say. If they're not logged in and they try to go into the dashboard, we want to redirect them to the login page. I was going to say home page. The login page. So we still need to use the route component, and that's why we imported it up there, because we still need to route some stuff in here. And just like we did over here in the past where we added all these things, the path, the component, all that stuff. Well, not the component, not just yet. But we did add like path and like history is being passed in from in here. So what we need to do is actually add those in as well. So ... rest. Oops. Now we could add in the component. We're going to set that equal, and we're going to actually make it an arrow function because we do need to do some logic inside of this. What component are we going to be actually rendering, if any, or are we going to just redirect them, period? So component, we're going to set this up as a stateless function, and we're going to be passing in props in here. Now, this is where the logic comes in. So we're going to say is authenticated. If it is authenticated, we're going to do something, okay? If it's not authenticated, we're going to do something else. And why is this a bracket? It should be a parentheses. And so is this, that's why. Okay. And this, since we're doing the shorthand version of return, That should be that. All right, I'll focus on this. I don't know why this is being read right now, but I'll focus on that later on. Maybe because I don't have anything in there. Anyways, so if we are authenticated, what we want to do is actually render out the component being passed in. Let me say component, and we're gonna give it the props, just like so, and that is it. That's it. If it's not being authenticated, well, we want to actually redirect them. And there's actually a component inside of React Router that we could actually use. And it's called redirect. We want to, in here, redirect them to the home page or the login page for this instance. Now, why is this still being expression expected? There is an expression. Okay, I had an extra caret right there. You see that? I had an extra caret, so I just deleted it. Anyways, this is how we're going to actually use it. So let's just go over what's actually happening here. So in router, we're using a component that we built out, private component or private route right here, and this is passed in inside of props. I'm just telling you that exactly right now. You know, this is passed in props. So in private route right here, we're expected some things. We want is authenticated, which we get from down here. We want the component that's being passed in, which right now, let's say dashboard. Let's just go over this, which is budget snob home, right? That's the component being passed in. And then we want everything else. Everything else would be the path, the exact, and the history. If you don't not know that, we do get passed in history as well. That's the rest of the stuff being passed in. So now what do we want to do is actually create a route with all of those props inside of that, or the rest, which is history and all that stuff, and also the component. But the component is kind of different, and that's why we destructured it right here, because we don't know what component to actually render. So if it is authenticated, we're going to be rendering the actual component that is being passed in, that be budget snob, budget add, or budget edit, whatever. If they're not authenticated, we're going to be redirecting them to the home page. Now, let's actually see if this works or not. Sorry, that's my work. Let's actually see if that works or not. So I'm going to do yarn run dev server. And it's going to take a while because it's still doing it. Yeah, there it goes. Here we go. There we go. So it should be loading right there. Okay, so we're actually logged in. So let's actually log out. I'm actually going to copy this path so I don't have to write it. Copy. Let's log out. Okay, so we're logged out right now. And we're not logged in, obviously. So let's actually go to dashboard and let's see what happens. And you see that right there? It does not let us go to dashboard. So we do need to log in. Let's log in. Web dev journey. And now we're going to the dashboard, and we could go to add to the home. Home being what's it called? The /, which is a login page, which we do not need. And this is the other thing we're going to be fixing. This. So once we're logged in, we shouldn't be seeing this login button no more. We should not be seeing that. We should be redirecting to the dashboard. So let's actually fix that right now. And like I said, it's exactly the same thing as private route. Ooh, but one more thing we could actually do. Now, I remember this because of this. The header. When we're in that the login page, we should not be seeing home, add, all that stuff. So we're going to be fixing that right now. So the header is actually in here, which we do not want it in here. So we're going to be deleting this header and actually deleting the header from right here completely, because we don't need it in here. Where we do need it is wherever the private routes are at. So right here, I am going to be importing. Oops, not there. Down here, importing header, and we're going to be using it down here to right here. And since this is a return statement, I do need to add a div or a wrapper. So I'm going to be creating a div, and in here we're going to be adding the header. Nope, the header. Why did I do that? Header. and the component. Let me get rid of this, put it in here, paste that, control save, and control save this over here. So over here, if we log out, we should not be seeing, oops, are we seeing it? Okay, there it is. We should not be seeing our header, which is correct. We just get the login button. So we log in one more time, web dev journey. Now we should be seeing our header and all that good stuff. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now let's actually fix the part where if we do go to localhost 8080, we should not be seeing this. Oh, we don't get it. I mean, clicking on home right here, we should not be seeing this login button right here. We should not be seeing that. So I'm gonna copy all this, copy, in routers, I'm creating a new file. This is going to be called public route.js. It's going to be exactly the same thing. I copied the wrong one. It's this one. Copy, paste. Okay, now we're going to do it. All right. First things first, we do not need header on this page because if it's public, then it's public. We don't really need it. And this is going to be pretty simple. Like I said, this part right here is going to be simple. All of this. All right. So we still need our map state to props because we still need some stuff. And right here, we got to change this. Control D to public. Oops. Public route. All right. Now right here, if we are authenticated, well, we don't want to be redirecting to the actual login page. We actually want to redirect. Let me copy this. We want to redirect to the dashboard. Dashboard, just like so. Let me copy this. Get rid of this. If we're not authenticated, what we want to do is actually get redirected. I mean, actually render out the component that's being passed in. Now, the component that's being passed in, let's go back over here. Let me import public route from public route. So the component being passed in for right now, there's only one public route. Page not found. Obviously, we want that if there's not a page found. So that's not going. That is a public route, but not the public route we want to target. The public route we want to target is the login page right here. Public route. Now control save this. Now let's go over what's happening. So the public route right now, what we have only one is the login page. And over here, what we're saying that if they are authenticated and they go to the login page, well, we just want to redirect them to the dashboard. Since they're already logged in, there's no reason for them to go to the login page at all. The component, or if they're not logged in, we're going to render out the component being passed in, which is the login page. And that is basically it with all of the props, obviously, with all these things, the exact path and all that. So that's pretty much it. Let's actually see what's going on. So let's actually go to let's refresh this first of all. Let's go to the home page. And yeah, there you go. You see that we're being redirected. As you can see down here in the bottom where this actually locates, redirects, it should redirect to localhost 8080. But once I start clicking it, it won't redirect me there because we're already logged in. So we just go to the dashboard once again. If I log out, we go to the login page and I'll try, well, let's actually do the dashboard and I go to the login page. Awesome. If I go log in, web dev journey, I could go to add, I could go to edit, right? And if I try to go home, it won't let me. If I try to go to the /dashboard, it'll just redirect me here. Awesome. That is also great. Actually, let's do this right here. I'm gonna actually copy this, open up, close out of the browser again, open up the browser, localhost 8080. We should still be logged in, and there you go. We go directly to the dashboard. Everything's working just as we want it to. But let's actually fix that navigation. It was kind of weird that I clicked home, it was navigating to the login page. It should not be happening. Let's go to header. And that's the reason right here. I thought I fixed this. This should be going to the dashboard. Dashboard. This should be going to the dashboard, not to the home page or the root of the application. Okay, now that we fixed that, everything should be working just as we want it to. Anyways, guys, thank you guys. Oh, we could actually add a nav link to the edit page, but you could do that if you want to. I'm not. Anyways, that is it for this video, guys. I just wanted to go over private and public routes, and we just did that. It was pretty simple. All we did was create a component and just did some logic in here. If they're authenticated, make them go to the dashboard. If they're not authenticated, make them go to the to the login page or whatever. And that is basically what we did here. And thank you guys for watching this video. I really do appreciate you guys, spending some time watching these videos. It does help me out, and I actually like making, believe it or not, I do like making videos, or at least tutorial videos on this kind of stuff. So thank you guys. Honestly, I do appreciate it. If you liked the video, please give it a like. Comment down below on what do you want me to do next, and also subscribe if you haven't. Please, it would really help me out a lot. So thank you guys. I will see you in the next video. I say thank you so many times in the very end. I just noticed that on all my videos at the end, I always say thank you, like, I don't even know, 5, 6, 7 times. I have no idea. It's a lot. But I will see you in the next video.